Hello guys.
Hey.
Have you ever come across a video where you don't understand what's happening, but somehow it's seriously creepy? This video has been shared around the Indonesian internet community with no context whatsoever.
It appears to be apparent security footage from the porch of a home. An unknown individual dressed as a clown carrying a sack that's covered in red walks up the porch steps. It seems he's trying to send a message, or possibly prank the homeowner, by leaving the sack and knocking on the door. The clip being shared ends shortly afterwards, leaving everybody scared, wondering what actually happened. We were able to track the footage down to YouTuber Billy the Fridge, who wrote the surveillance tape is 100% real, no faking. In reality, this was probably a prank, but not before scaring 99% of people. Number 14, Lincoln City Cathedral Ghost. With only slightly more than 2,000 views, this haunted video deserves more interest. Posted in March of 2015 by YouTuber Renaissance 2001, the video shows a ghost outside Lincoln City Cathedral at night. As the church bells chime, the person filming the video spies something around the corner on a side of the building. It appears to be a little face. As the person starts panicking, getting slightly closer to try and capture what this is, the face disappears around the corner. He runs after to find nothing there at all. Absolutely terrifying, made even more so by the chiming of the bells, a reminder to feel for the lost souls who haunt this earth. Number 13, Potential Taking. This one will stay with you long after you watch it. What would you do if you heard these sounds of horror in your neighborhood? A Ring doorbell caught this scene, considered a potential taking in the Los Angeles neighborhood of Leimert Park in November of 2019. The footage shows a vehicle pass by, and from the vehicle, screams are heard as a woman pleads for help from those outside.
Witnesses say that the getaway car was a small white hatchback.
After a potential taking was reported, this Ring doorbell footage prompted an investigation into the incident. Los Angeles Police Department officer Mike Lopez said that police who responded to the call at first found no evidence of a taking. However, this disturbing footage seems to point in that direction. The woman is crying and screaming for someone to help, repeatedly pleading for over half a minute as the vehicle passes by at around 11 p.m. When the owners of the Ring doorbell hear this, they're seen on their doorstep, looking to see what's going on. KTLA reports that a witness on the scene claims she heard a man's voice as well saying, "I'm sorry." He was pictured pulling the braided hair of the woman in the passenger seat. The vehicle then sped from the neighborhood with its rear hatch open. After the LAPD was provided the doorbell footage, they reopened the investigation and canvassed the neighborhood for clues. But as of the end of November, there have been no leads. As reported by Mercury News, let's hope this woman is found soon. Number 12, Shadow Figure. You know that feeling like you're being watched? Well, maybe you are. This YouTuber says that demonic activity in his home has risen to reoccurrences every 3 to 4 days. He writes, "The demon shadow figure was at the foot of my bed when I woke up, probably watching my dog and I for 8 to 9 minutes, then fled down the hallway and caught a black mass materializing by the door and moving towards my bedroom. And then in the lower right-hand side of the video, you can see it leaving, resulting in me and my dog visibly shaken." The clip does indeed appear to show a shadow figure seeming to materialize on the wall. Whether it's demonic or not is debatable. It doesn't appear to cause any evil, although perhaps the feeling of it was insidious. The man's dog certainly looks scared enough. What do you think the shadow being wants? Could it just be a friendly ghost? Number 11, Emergency. If you've ever been in an abandoned building under a state of emergency, you know how alone this man feels. With just over 28,300 views, this video titled Emergency.mp4 was published in March of 2016 by YouTuber Paul Cyrek. His description reads, "I was at hospital and woke up. Everyone left, but I found one still there after camera battery died. The hospital in the video does indeed look abandoned, making the emergency sound and eerie flashing lights all the more terrifying.
Oh, I can't do that. That's too scary.
For some reason, with no one else fleeing the scene alongside you, fear is heightened, heavy breathing and heavy sighs are heard through the camera. The cameraman passes through the hospital, down a hallway, through a door around a corner, and another door and hallway. No one is there, leaving us to wonder who exactly this man found after the camera battery died. David Roman says he used to work hospital security and that he thinks this is a security guard during a fire drill, but he suggests that patients weren't evacuated for the drill. Rather, it's more likely this was a closed-off wing under construction, which might explain the pallets and construction equipment spotted in the video. Something that wouldn't be found in patient areas. Seems like a valid explanation. However, it is still terrifying to think about. Number 10. Haunted Closet. Closets are usually harmless, but a series posted by RadLad1 has us wondering what's on the other side of that door. According to the uploader, the closet in question hasn't been altered since he moved in, but creepy occurrences keep happening with it. In the first video, he opens the door to the small closet, which has a disused TV on the ground, several hangers, and some random stuff on the shelf, including a stuffed animal. The next video is where the creepiness comes in. You can hear the door rattling slightly, and as the dude gets closer to it to examine what's going on, it slowly opens on its own, and then jerks open before jerking shut. The spookiness continues with the next video, in which the man says he hears constant sounds coming from the closet. He approaches it again, and as he reaches towards the handle, a terrifying rattling is heard, causing him to jump and back away again. The last video culminates in probably the scariest happening. There is a knocking on the door and a rattling. It's heard plain as day. When the guy opens the door, you can see there's nothing at all inside. I think we're all thinking the same thing. It's time to move. Number 9. Paranormal Lodge Investigation. Some haunted places hide secrets only the afterlife knows. This video is a private investigation of the Tamaqua Elks Lodge, which occurred on Saturday, September 14th, 2019. Apparently, the Elks Lodge in the town of Tamaqua, Pennsylvania, has some haunted history. Housed in a converted apartment building, there are claims that the Elks Lodge is haunted by the ghosts of 2 people who took their own lives, who resided in the previous apartments. Some claim they've heard voices and seen poltergeist activity. When the Pocono Paranormal team investigated, they caught numerous orbs and a voice that said, "Love you." So what did Team SCRT find? They too captured orb and light anomalies on the scene, as well as horrifying screams on the EVP. They also captured someone saying, "Help me," and another said, "Come play." There are many unexplained sounds and a voice saying, "Martha, time to go." The spirit box also captured a voice responding, "I'm staying." But perhaps the creepiest point is the hazy, shadowy figures that appears to rise up beside one of the crew near the end of that video. Whatever is going on in this lodge is not something you'd want to face in the light of day. Number 8. Mother Nature. This video will deter you from ever wanting to become a sailor. The video shows a large ship on a stormy sea. From the top of the deck, massive waves swell around the ship, while the darkening sky overhead casts an even gloomier scene. The waves are so turbulent that they appear to be climbing the edge of the boat. In fact, water splashes onto the deck, the ocean spray bursting up like a geyser at the helm. There's something quietly frightening about this video. The anger and unpredictability of nature and the helplessness of being in the middle of it, tossed about by the sea. Some in the comments find it beautiful, and it is in a way, but others rightfully find it terrifying. With Redditor Buttered Muffin Toots writing, "I got seasick just watching this. Whether you find this more beautiful or fearful, one thing's for sure. You'll be 100% grateful that your feet are planted firmly on land. Number 7. It's in the room. Kicking back with your friends should be carefree. What happens when something strange occurs? A bin falls or a door clatters shut without explanation. If it happens once, then you can pass it off as just an oddity. But when it happens repeatedly, it's not coincidental. You may have something paranormal on your hands. This video was posted by Creepy7 Paranormal and shows 3 guys just hanging out, lying on the floor of their room on their phones, when something flies off the corner filing cabinet, startling the 3 and causing the sleeping dude to sit up, while the item, which looks like a roll of paper, could have simply fallen from a precarious position on the cabinet. What happens next makes you think again. A larger roll of paper leaning up against a standing cupboard flips onto the floor. There's no way that this one could have fallen on its own, as it didn't fall in a natural manner. It would have had to have been lifted and tossed over. Whatever is in this room finally has all 3 boys' attention. They all sat up, with one covering his head with a blanket, and the other staring in fear at the corner where the commotion is coming from. The thing is not finished. The top file cabinet drawer opens wide, and a cupboard box on the floor lifts off the ground, levitating momentarily. This causes the boys to flee, and as they do, 2 more giant rolls of paper fall to the ground. Redditor Crimson Cario writes, "What's more terrifying is the fact that these grown-up men went screaming out the room, showing how scary it must have been." Well, Adrian the Goat adds, "It's stuff like this that keeps me up at night. You're not alone, goat." Number 6. In the hallway. If you've ever heard someone crying and you went to investigate, this video will make you consider the possibility that the sound is from the beyond. Posted by YouTuber Cluffo, the footage shows a man hearing a ghost girl's cry.
Did you hear that?
When he goes to investigate, walking slowly through his room to the door, he opens it to find a huddled mass in the hallway. It's hard to tell in this footage what it could be, but we'll...
Yeah.
So he got up. It was coming from outside. So he went to go outside.
Look at your face.
He went to go outside, and there was tons of coyotes, wolves, all that stuff just sitting out of this camper. What are you doing?
That's cap. I understand. I like that story.
Because those things sound like they.
Oh, the foxes sound like the young women?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did you see that at? The YouTube video?
No.
We'll assume, for the sake of argument, that it's a ghost girl huddled over in distress.
Oh my god, look at that!
The man closes the door again, and then a moment later decides to reopen it. When he does, he finds the figure standing before him at the end of the hallway, in a still and strange position. Once he realizes what he's seeing, he shuts the door quickly in fear. Those in the comments of this video feel the same way. 50 Shades of Fierce writes, "Scariest thing I've ever seen. After the 100th time, it still gives me goosebumps. Goosebumps in a near stop of the heart." Number 5. A hand emerges. When a hand emerges from nowhere, you begin to think you're seeing things, especially if it's disembodied. Posted to Reddit by Psychurfer. This one will make you feel like you're being touched. Psychurfer writes, "During a paranormal investigation of a hobby group, a hand emerges from nowhere and disappears again. Group still doesn't know where the hand came from after 6 years. Originally posted in July of 2014, a German private investigator is seen with his crew in a darkened room. They're all facing one way in what appears to be a hallway, likely getting ready to enter another room in the space they're investigating. Pretty normal, that is, until a hand appears out of the bottom left side of the screen, as though to pat one of the crew on the back. It flits on screen for a moment, while the crew remains unaware, before disappearing again in an instant. In the comments, Redditor RWP80 says that it looks human but with a finger missing. Another says it looks like an animal hand, maybe that of a raccoon, but it doesn't seem animal at all to me. It looks indeed human. Who was in the room that night with these investigators, and what did they want? Only the disembodied hand knows. Number 4, Phantom Menace. Have you ever seen a ghost video that looks 100% authentic, posted by YouTuber Faden? This short clip will have you questioning everything. The video shows some ghost investigators entering a darkened room, searching it with 2 flashlight beams. One tells the other to cover his back while welding the camera. The sight zooms around all corners of the room, including the ceiling, the floor, the walls. In one corner next to what appears to be a wardrobe, the camera zooms in to capture something strange down on the floor. But just when you think whatever that thing is might somehow be the titular ghost, a creaking sound causes the cameraman to pull back, and what he captures is terrifying. Where moments before there was nothing, now a tall, vague figure looms. It's hard to see the thing's distinct characteristics as the camera lurches in fear before the 2 guys race for their lives down the stairs, but whatever it is certainly gets your heart racing. After saying she believes this video is authentic, Enigma states in the comments, the doorway looks like it's standard height, and the thing looks like it's easily reaching the top. I'd even go as far to say that it's crouching slightly. So unless there's someone suffering from gigantism living in that place, it's definitely paranormal. What do you think? Can you explain this haunting image away? Or is it paranormal? Number 3, missing. What do you do when your internet friend goes missing? You travel halfway across the world to find him. Posted to No Sleep by user Addis14. This story and the videos that accompany it are sure to keep you up at night. According to Addis, his friend is missing. 8 years ago, 7 friends met online playing video games, after which the group moved to Discord, which is a free voice and text chat app for gamers. Every person in the group was a bit of a misfit, an outsider, but none more so than a Polish man in his early 20s named Adrian. Addis describes him as having the demeanor of Forrest Gump. From the sound of things, Adrian seemed pretty harmless at first, but a month prior to this post, he began acting out and seemed a different person altogether. Addis described him as a hostile lunatic. Addis said Adrian would go on hour-long rants and insisted that the cursed woods near his home were also haunted by the CIA, who installed, quote, black sites, unquote, there. 2 weeks prior to this Reddit post, Adrian went missing. He deleted his Discord and social media accounts, and the final 2 messages the group had managed to save prior to his vanishing online were the same type of nonsense he'd been spouting for weeks. As far as they could tell, he'd gone off the grid, except for one thing, his YouTube account. This remained active. Videos began appearing on this account. The first is a video Adrian filmed walking through the woods at daylight. Nothing out of the ordinary happens in this clip. The second is more disturbing. The opening shot shows the woods at night. The shot changes to Adrian coming across a flight of stairs in the daytime covered in rubble. The stairs lead down to a room with a rusted red container with a camera stand pointed inside. The container looks like a bathtub of sorts. Then the shot returns to blackness with only the edge of a wall in view. Addis goes on to say that the remaining 6 friends all assumed this was some sort of prank Adrian was pulling. He left his YouTube channel up for them to view. They were his audience. But the next 2 videos changed everything, making Addis worry for Adrian's help. In video 3, Adrian crawls through a sewer, after which he reaches a dead end. The 4th video is only static. Towards the end, you can barely make out 2 men walking in the darkness, alongside the man filming, which Addis assumes is Adrian. Audio from the final video posted sounds like Morse code, along with the sounds, numbers, letters, and symbols appear in handwriting across the red screen. The group can't figure this out. Addis
It says, subscribe to Nathan and Wyatt Gaming. I am an expert.
says that he and another of the
Yeah.
group, Lewis,
Yeah.
plan to travel to Poland to investigate the matter and search the woods. Each of these videos have only around 100 views, which means very few are hot on the trail of this story. So what have Redditors to offer, Addis? They were able to decipher that the Morse code in the last video
Nope. It totally says, or
spells River Kwai and
we all
step.
know it
Here's a
says
pro
subscribe to
tip.
Nathan
Don't
Wyatt's
open
YouTube
it.
Yeah.
YouTuber Alaskan Diva posted this clip saying it came from a doorbell camera. She writes, "You can see a person leaving at the beginning of the film. Watch the lower left corner. At first I thought leaving
Wow,
a chintz
it's a
eared
box.
shad or hornet crawling
Man,
on the
this
leg."
makes our life even more. Thank you guys for watching. Love you.
Bye.